Top of Joe time. Joe Maddon is here. Joe, it's Brian Kenny. How are you?
Very good, BK. How you doing, buddy?
Good, good. I brought up cut of jib index. I'd like to work that into top 10 right now. You know, it's like one of these things. I don't know what it is, but I know it when I see it. And I brought up Bryce Harper coming back from injury, playing a new position where the team needed him. Tell me something that you look for in a superstar player, you know, cut of jib that means something.
Well, quickly, I have 5 levels of a Major League Baseball player. Level 1, happy to be here. Level 2, survival. Level 3, I belong here. I can do this. Level 4, I want to make as much money as I possibly can. And level 5, all I want to do is win. So he's a level 5, absolutely. There's a lot of level 5 players in the game. And the more guys you get like that on your team, the better opportunity you have to play at this time of the year and win. He is playing, you mentioned it earlier, in Philadelphia. I think that's a big part of it. I think he's being motivated by the fans, and he fits the description. The guy's got great face. If you want to get into old scouting techniques, I'll talk about that. This guy is gritty. He wants to win. He's a level 5 guy. He's not going to be denied. And he's there for a reason. He signed up there for a reason. Like I said, he did not cower away from that market or that fan base. And they've embraced him and he's embraced them. So all of these intangible qualities are working in his favor right now.
You know, and again, I used to rail a little bit against a lot of that stuff, Joe, in the early sabermetric days. But now that we're all talking that same language, I'm like, okay, there are, from those intangibles are tangible results, right? It's like you can see it. And when him coming back where he couldn't hit, but he was back for the good of his team, and then the way he attacked in the playoffs, I think it's just all there. On the other side of things are the Padres, Joe. Now, the Padres are 0-12 in extra inning games. They lost a big one Saturday to the Cardinals. Normally, I would have said, hey, that's happenstance, that's luck, but is it?
Well, I mean, part of it is the runner at second base to start the inning off. Is that the in-game version of revenue sharing? Are we just trying to make this thing so even that it's permitting lesser teams to compete with better teams? And then, of course, the result could be just almost anything based on serendipity in that moment. So I'm curious about that. I don't even know how you would evaluate it, but the runner on second base has that kind of evened things out. And I'll take another step to that. It's the 3-batter minimum. I mean, when you get in that position and you have to like stick with one guy for 3 hitters in that moment, and there's part of that you don't like. And does it speak to depth and utilization of depth? Does it to managerial abilities? There's so many different things that I think are in play right here that aren't discussed enough.
No, you're right. That's a good point. The Padres are also 7-22 in one-run games. Again, that has shown to be a very fluctuating stat, and yet those two things kind of go together, that they're not winning those games, those close games. Anything to that?
No, I mean, listen, the one-run games, I always paid attention to that as a manager and with our teams, my teams. Yes, you wanted to win those one-run games. I wanted to be at least around 500. Yeah, it speaks to your bullpen. It speaks to the ability to just have that, whatever that thing is inside of you, you're not going to be denied. And I do believe in that. Again, you cannot, there's certain things you cannot evaluate analytically or numerically or mathematically. There's these things within the person themselves, the eyeballs. I talked about the eyeball test. You look at Bryce Harper, is he going to be denied? Of course, he's going to be on occasion, but when he goes up there, he's not. I mean, all these things matter, but I always would try to get my groups at least try to get them to like the 500 in those one-run games. And when you get to the point where you get way over that, several teams have done that this year, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think, Joe, I'm with you. I think the truth is somewhere in between. That there's a lot of happenstance, a lot of bad luck, there's a lot, and yet
Correct.
It should be, but they're historically bad. They should not be historically bad in both of those groups. All right, Yusei Kikuchi made some waves last week. I don't know if you saw this. He had some cramping. He had to come out of a start. He said it was due to a lack of sleep. He got just 11 hours sleep the night before. He prefers 13 to 14 hours. Joe, have you heard about this, the competitive advantage of sleep?
I think the last time I used that was with Ria Rabinowitz at Lafayette College in my freshman year, not getting enough sleep. I mean, I have not. I mean, that's like exorbitant amount of sleep. You don't need that much sleep. I mean, I don't even, listen, when I get my 8, listen, that's got to be cultural. I have never heard that before. You brought it up with me earlier. Was Shohei known for doing that? I don't really know. But again, the last time I could really recall being that person was at Zeta Psi fraternity house.
When you slept all day, you're saying when a guy was just on the couch sleeping.
Went down, played some basketball, then I went into the sauna bath, etc. That was my day.
And you probably, as a manager, probably said, hey, guys, get your sleep, right? But you didn't mean 14 hours, right?
Well, I used to have I wanted a wake-up call in the minor leagues. I hated when my guys slugged it out or slugged in bed all day. When you get an A-ball player that's sleeping till like noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he shows up at the ballpark lethargic, I thought. So I always wanted to be able to pass out my meal money in the morning, like say an A-ball, rookie ball guys, to make them get out of bed. Just get out of bed, start moving.
Okay.
So that was always my thing. Listen, I like my rest, but I want my guys moving too.
Yeah, but you want 14 hours rest. All right. Here's something else. As a former manager,
Sure.
I wanted to run this by you. The Brewers clinched a playoff spot Friday night. They had a champagne toast. I don't know if they had a big celebration or not, but they lost Saturday and Sunday. They've yet to clinch the division title. So in your experience, what's the protocol? When are you supposed to celebrate, go all out, or half celebrate?
Well, I think they did the right thing by the toast right there to celebrate the first leg of this thing. When you actually win, that's when you blow it out. That's when the Patron comes out. So I think that for me, that's what they did properly. I would have done more than likely the same thing. You should always celebrate achievement. They're in the playoffs. You celebrate that moment. They didn't go crazy. However, I guess they were in Miami and lost a couple of games after that. So maybe there was the after party that we're not aware of. But I do believe in what they did. But I also believe when they do actually do what they need to do, you blow it out. You
know what it is, too, Joe, is we see all these rounds. We see every single celebration. There's so many rounds of playoffs. And now another champagne celebration, trying to protect the clubhouse. It's like, it seems excessive, but I guess you have to celebrate. I mean, you worked 6 months to get to that spot, right? You should do something.
You celebrate achievement, man. I'm all into it. For those the detractors that really never been in that moment, it's hard to get there. And fortunately, if you get there on an annual basis, that's wonderful. But I believe let's celebrate this. They did it in a very mild manner the last time. Next time, let's get after it.
All right. You look well rested, Joe. Get your sleep.
8 hours last night, brother.
I would take 8. Thank you, Joe.
I just drove to Tampa. I'm good,
you
man.
Still got 8. There you go. Try 14. We'll see how you perform on the air.
Do it.
All right. I'll see you, Joe. Thank you.